A carrier can look solid on your living room floor, then fail the second your cat hits panic mode. One weak zipper, one flimsy mesh panel, or one rejected airline tag can turn a simple trip into a parking lot chase. So this is not a cute accessory review. This is a buyer audit of cat carriers that quietly waste your money, stress your cat, and sometimes create real escape risks. And the winner is not the one with the flashiest ads. Before we compare shapes, brands, or clever features, every carrier has to pass 4 basics: escape resistance, ventilation, correct sizing, and easy cleaning. Escape resistance means locking zippers, sturdy seams, and mesh that cannot be shredded by a panicked cat. Ventilation means airflow on multiple sides, not one decorative window. Correct sizing means your cat can stand, turn around, and lie down, without sliding across a huge empty box every time you break. Easy cleaning means removable bedding, wipeable surfaces, and no fabric maze that traps urine after one accident. Loading matters too. A front entry carrier can turn into a wrestling match if your cat plants all 4 paws and backs away. Top entry designs, wide openings, or carriers that split apart can make the difference between a calm departure and a scratched-up delay. Any carrier that fails one of these basics is not premium. It is just expensive with better marketing. The cheapest soft carriers often fail in the exact moment they are supposed to help, when a scared cat throws its weight against the walls. Thin fabric sides can fold inward, so the carrier loses shape while you are trying to lift it. Cheap mesh can tear at the corners, and weak stitching around handles can start separating after a few trips. The zipper is the real gamble. Some budget carriers use sliders that move too easily, so a determined cat can push a nose or paw into the opening and widen it. If the zipper does not lock, or if the teeth separate under pressure, the carrier is not secure enough for parking lots, vet lobbies, or any place where one escape becomes a crisis. Expandable soft carriers look like the upgrade because they promise extra room. In real use, many of them become awkward outside the house. The expanded sections can sag, twist, or drag when the carrier is lifted, and the wider shape can bump into doors, car seats, and waiting room chairs. More space is not useful if the structure becomes harder to control. Cleaning is where the bargain gets worse. Thin pads soak through quickly, non-removable liners make accidents harder to fix, and some fabrics hold urine smell even after scrubbing. Once a carrier traps odor, many cats remember it before the next trip even starts. And the next category looks more futuristic, but for nervous cats, it can be even worse. Bubble backpacks look like a space capsule for your cat, but many are built around the photo, not the passenger. The clear dome can turn into a little greenhouse in warm weather, especially when the ventilation holes are small, decorative, or partly blocked by your body. A cat that is already stressed can overheat faster than you expect. The shape is another problem. Rounded plastic gives less usable space than it appears to, so larger cats may sit curled, hunched, or pressed against the front. That upright carrying position also means every step you take rocks them from behind while they face the world with nowhere to hide. The bubble window can make that worse. Some cats do not enjoy a panoramic view of dogs, traffic, strangers, and bright movement. They need cover, not constant exposure. Security is where trendy backpacks can get expensive. Curved plastic panels, decorative vents, weak seams, and light zippers are not always made for a cat that claws, twists, and pushes repeatedly. If a zipper creeps open on a sidewalk, the cute design stops mattering instantly. A backpack carrier can work, but it needs real ventilation, a stable base, strong locking zippers, enough room to turn around, and privacy panels. If it only fixes the human's convenience, it is not the upgrade it claims to be. It sounds official, but there is no single universal approval that covers every airline, every aircraft, and every seat. One carrier may fit under a seat on one plane, then fail on a smaller aircraft with a different underseat shape. Soft-sided carriers help because they can compress slightly, but that does not mean any soft bag gets a pass. Airlines can set limits for length, width, height, ventilation, leak-proof bottoms, and whether the pet can stand and turn around inside. At the gate, the final decision may come down to staff discretion. So before buying, check the exact airline, the exact route, the aircraft if possible, and the current pet policy. Do not rely on a product photo showing a plain icon. That icon will not help if the gate agent says the bag is too tall. Premium travel carriers can still be worth considering, but price alone is not proof. Better fabric, stronger zippers, and washable liners are useful. A luxury label does not automatically mean easier loading, calmer travel, better airflow, or a shape that your cat can actually use. The smart money goes to measured fit, secure construction, real ventilation, and a design your cat can tolerate. Now that the wasteful upgrades are clear, we can get into the products that are actually worth paying for. The safest basic buy for many cat owners is still the boring hard plastic carrier. It is not fancy, but the rigid shell protects better in a car, holds its shape when your cat pushes against it, and wipes clean after accidents, shedding, or a stressful vet visit. The real value is in the construction. Look for a carrier with a firm bottom that does not sag under your cat's weight, a door that sits squarely in the frame, and latches that fully lock instead of barely catching the plastic. Ventilation matters too, especially on the sides, because a frightened cat may press against the front door and block airflow. Top-load designs are the quality-of-life upgrade that often earns the extra money. Instead of trying to push a panicked cat through a front opening, you can lower them in from above with better control and less wrestling. That also helps at the vet, where the top can sometimes open enough for an exam without dragging the cat out immediately. If you buy one, check the top hinges and lid locks as carefully as the front door. A weak top-load latch defeats the whole point. Hard plastic carriers are practical for vet trips, short car rides, and anxious cats that need structure. The one exception is travel, where flexibility matters, because some owners still need a softer carrier that can fit tighter spaces. This is where soft-sided carriers earn their place. A good one is not just a fabric bag with a zipper. It has a reinforced frame, a base that stays flat under your cat's weight, mesh panels that resist clawing, and seams that do not twist when you lift it. The big advantage is flexibility. Soft carriers are easier to carry through parking lots, waiting rooms, train stations, and airports. They can also fit under some airline seats where a hard plastic carrier would never clear the space. For smaller cats, senior cats, or owners who need something lighter, that can be the difference between usable and impossible. The cheap versions are where people get robbed. If the sides collapse inward, your cat loses room and ventilation. If the zipper pulls apart under pressure, you have an escape risk in the worst possible place. Look for locking zippers, strong stitching around the handles, and a washable pad that can come out after accidents. For airline-style carriers, do not trust the word approved printed on the listing. Airlines set their own pet rules, and aircraft layouts can change the underseat space. Measure the carrier yourself, compare it with the airline's current requirements, and make sure your cat can still stand, turn around, and lie down comfortably inside. A truly travel-ready soft carrier is worth paying for because it solves a specific problem: safe structure in a flexible shape. And the final worth it category is about a feature that can matter more than the brand name or the price tag. The feature that often matters most is not padding or color. It is access. A carrier with only one front door can turn a calm vet visit into a wrestling match. Top entry lets you lower a nervous cat in without shoving. A wide front entry gives confident cats a normal way to walk inside. A removable lid can be even better for scared, injured, or older cats, because the vet can examine them while they stay in the bottom half of the carrier. Cleaning features matter just as much. Look for bedding that lifts out and goes in the wash, interiors you can wipe without soaking the whole carrier, and fewer fabric seams where urine, vomit, or litter dust can hide. A leak-resistant bottom is not glamorous, but it can save your car seat, your floor, and the carrier itself after one bad ride. Comfort is also about control. Seatbelt loops keep the carrier from sliding during sudden stops. Stable handles stop the carrier from swinging like a shopping bag. Shoulder straps should keep the base level instead of tilting your cat into one corner. Privacy flaps help overstimulated cats block out dogs, waiting room noise, and strangers leaning too close. That is what makes these features worth paying for. The best carrier is not the flashiest one online. It is the one that survives panic, mess, lifting, driving, cleaning, and then does it all again the next time you need it. Before you buy any carrier, run this 60-second checklist. First, test escape points. If your cat panics, can they push through the zipper, pop the latch, tear the mesh, or force a seam open? Second, test access. Can you load your cat without a fight, and can a vet reach them without dragging them out? Third, test cleanup. If there is urine, vomit, fur, or spilled water inside, can you clean it fast without destroying the carrier? Fourth, test fit. Your cat should be able to turn around, sit, and lie down, and the carrier should match your actual trips, not just the product photo. Thanks for watching. Before you buy, ignore the product photo and judge the panic moment. Security, ventilation, structure, fit, and cleanability. Comment with your cat's size and your travel situation, and I will suggest what to look for. Then watch the next product audit before wasting money again.